Welcome back to Scary Hours, my good people. I'm your host, Pete. Shout out to all my returning horror fans, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that bell before you go so you know when I drop a new video. So for tonight's Scary Hours, we're heading into the desert, but not the one you're familiar with, full of sandstorms and treasure hunters. Nah, there's no Brendan Fraser here to save you. This is Lee Cronin's The Mummy, a brutal supernatural body horror that'll get under your skin. So let me share my quick thoughts on this new take on a classic horror. Let's dive in. A 2026 horror film written and directed by Lee Cronin, starring Jack Rayner, Leia Costa, and May Kalamawi. The young daughter of a journalist disappears into the desert without a trace. Then 8 years later, when she's found and returned to the family, what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. This isn't a reboot of the adventure horror some of us have grown to love. Lee Cronin, the director behind Evil Dead Rise, takes Universal's classic movie monster and mutates it into something deeply uncomfortable and sinister. Instead of a resurrected pharaoh creeping around wrapped in dirty bandages, we get a demonic entity wreaking havoc in the body it possesses. So in all actuality, yeah, there's a mummified body found in a sarcophagus, and that's about all, folks, as far as mummy lore goes, because the rest of the movie plays out like Evil Dead or Drag Me to Hell mixed with The Exorcist. And at the center of it all, we have a little girl named Katie, who's kidnapped in Cairo, Egypt after taking candy from strangers that needed her as a subject for a ritual. Then 8 years later, some archaeologists just so happen to find her wrapped up in a tomb, then contact and return her to the family. But she's far from the Katie that they remember. Now see, I love my daughter to death, but if she came back looking, acting, and sounding like this, I would have already known something ain't right, and there's no way I can take this girl back to our home. But then we wouldn't have a movie. And that's just the beginning of all the bad choices these parents making here. Because as soon as the grandmother lays eyes on Katie, she can already tell something's off. But I guess that's a display of a parent's love for their children and guilt hitting the dad real hard since she was snatched on his watch. So it's a simple story, even though this movie may not fit everybody's taste. Because once the family gets her back home, the movie ramps up the horror, gore, and disturbing imagery. There's more than a few gross out moments, just to let you know ahead of time. That's where the Evil Dead Rise vibes kick in, and I love Evil Dead Rise. So expect some outrageous scenes of violence that are pretty vicious, but might have you cracking up at the same time. Cronin leans heavily on practical makeup for the peeling skin and dry, rotten-like texture of Katie's appearance. And here they also use the same kind of dual camera technique where it's a creepy close-up shot next to someone or something slightly out of focus. I dig that cinematography. They use that in the Evil Dead also. And there's also a pretty cool scene of a sandstorm early on. As usual with these types of films, once the chaos is really getting out of hand, we have that period of time where the characters are researching how to fix what's happening and why a demon is even targeting their family, which also ties into my main gripe about this movie. It is too long. You know, when you're checking your watch a few times that the movie has gone on far too long. It's not even that there's not enough going on, but there's a couple dull moments here and there. Then towards the end, you'll feel like it's wrapping up. Nah, it's 20 more minutes. So the pacing may frustrate some viewers. The chemistry between the parents is a little suspect also. Otherwise, the acting is fine for this kind of movie. Katie definitely steals the show. I think this is another good addition to the horror lineup of 2026. So with that said, I give Lee Cronin's The Mummy 3 stars out of 5. I'd recommend it to any fan of body horror, possession films, or anything in the Evil Dead franchise. But you might want to wait until it's streaming digitally and still check it out.
I wanna know all the different things about you. Like what? Like how your little piggies taste.
All right, my good people, that wraps up this Scary Hours review for the newest release, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, an unsettling reinvention, not a reboot. If you want a horror film to crawl under your skin, I think this will do the trick for you. So if you enjoyed this breakdown and anything I said about this movie sparked your interest, come back and let me know if you went to the theater and checked it out and how you felt about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments section and tell me, what other classic monster deserves a modern, twisted reimagining next? Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you know when the next video drops. And if there's any other movies or new releases you think I should review or you'd like me to discuss, then let me know about those also in the comments, and I'll hook that up for you. Until next time, this is the Scary Hour Show, signing off. And remember, some tombs stay sealed for a reason. Y'all stay safe out there.